What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? What's up? Marlo, Wheel 762. Not too sure. That's your YouTube name. Not too sure who you are, but I'll figure you out. Getting a few people in here. Can you guys hear me all right? Any kind of thumbs ups or yeses or something like that? Awesome. Let's give everybody a sec here to get in. Anybody that's sharing, go ahead and do so. Just want to go over everything tonight. What's up, Zane, Will Ivy, Chris Hunt, Chris Harris, Tony Pattishaw, Marquise, Andrew Matos. What's up, guys? Hunter, I hear you. Me too, most of the time. Some of the times we got to work. A lot of times we got to party. RC cars, man. There's nothing better than racing and partying. What's up, Kyle Chasen? Oh, man. Let's see here. It is 6:32. Give everyone till 6:35. Just make sure we got everybody, at least as many people. Obviously, anyone can watch this back if they would like when it's all said and done. We're not taking questions yet, Chris Harris. That's funny, though. If you guys know anyone that that is coming, that may want to hear any information, tag them in the Facebook post. That'd be great. No call-in number tonight for Marlo. As much as I would love to talk with all of you great people, I don't want to be here all night. I just assume talk with all of you guys at the race. It'd be a whole lot better for me, a whole lot better for you. All right. Figure like 6:30 would be kind of a good time for everyone in the Southeast, but maybe they're eating dinner or something. Who knows? Guess it's about time I would be eating too if I was home. Yes, Hunter, perfect. Listen up, Chris. Marlo, save a spot for Chris. Oh man, I'm excited. I'm excited about this weekend. Continuation on RC Pro Am 2023. Last year's race was awesome. Matter of fact, I need to pull something up real quick. Don't know. Let's see here. There we go. I was looking over the points from last year, and both Nitro Buggy and E-Buggy podiums for the teams, the team events, were decided by 1 point from first and second. That's pretty awesome. Um, if you ask me, only 3 points separated the top 4 points, and 5 points separated the top five in Nitro. And an electric buggy, 1 point separated the top two, and three, four, and five were a little far off from the top two, but man, they were so close. Really looking forward to a new year and a new competition here. So, and that. What's up, Kevin Clark? All right, here we are. We're at 6:35. Got a few people watching. We can share this video when we're done, but I want to go over some things with everybody and just kind of lay things out here. First off, I want to say thank you guys all for watching this. Some of you watch me every other Tuesday, and I'm sure by now my face is starting to bore you. My voice is annoying you, and everything in between. So thank you. And I'm looking forward to seeing everybody this weekend. Looking forward to having a couple frosty beverages in this nice July heat. Any of you that have not been to this arena, the Boys and Girls Home Arena in Lake Waccamaw, you're in for a treat. The place is awesome. Really welcoming, cool place. The dirt's unique. There's really not a lot like it on the East Coast. You're in for a different kind of track than what you're used to. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the new people that haven't experienced this race or the Fall Brawl, as well as having everybody back that has been here. Your support is awesome, and we appreciate every bit of it. Lance McDonald and his crew, the lead, are race directing and doing the live coverage of this event. Lefty's going to be here. Should have a pretty full crew. I know of a couple West Coasters that are coming in. Dakota Finn's coming in. Spencer Heckert's coming in. Camden Lime. One of the West Coasters, Chase from Racecraft, Chase Ehrlich, is coming in. We got some, it's going to be a good time. You're going to have Lucas there, who doesn't know how to party, but he's going to show you that he thinks he does. He's going to try his hardest, which is fine. We definitely all need to root him on and encourage him because he's trying his hardest. So thank you guys all for that, and let's be kind. That's important. Everyone be kind. Everyone have a good time, and let's have some good old-fashioned competition. All right. Let's talk a little bit about parking. That'll be the first thing. Camper spots and parking. If you have not reserved a camper spot, full hookup, there are, looks like 2 spots left maybe. And as far as the power and water hookups, there are a lot left. However, all the ones that are basically right next to the building have been taken and reserved. So you're more than welcome to grab one of the other ones when you come. They are paid spots. They're $50 a night, which goes to the Boys and Girls Home Arena. There's a lot of them. So if you show up, you're more than welcome to take one of them as long as it's not reserved. So basically, if you haven't reserved one, any of the ones alongside of the building are pretty much reserved, except for a couple of the full hookups. So if you want one of those, reach out to me. Take care of you. Parking, it's first come, first serve for the trailers. We cannot block trailers in. We cannot block campers in. Cannot block other vehicles in. There is tons of parking. You guys want to bring a bike, little scooters, anything that you want to ride back and forth, there's tons of parking. Once you guys get into a spot, put up your tent, drop off your stuff. You need to park your vehicles out of the way so that stuff can be moved around and vehicles can get in and out when need be. But as far as tents and trailers go, it is first come, first serve. We're going to pack them in pretty tight. That way, as many people can get as close to the arena as possible. If you've got any questions, come find me or Lucas. We will get you parked wherever you want to be, as long as there's a spot there. If you guys are saving a spot for somebody, make sure they're going to be there pretty close to when you're there, so we don't run into any issues. Make sure someone's coming. If someone doesn't come, and you saved a spot for them, I will be pretty frustrated with you. So I'll give you the freedom to do so, but please don't take advantage of it to try to get extra room or anything like that. That won't fly. Next time we'll put you on the back 40, and even if there's room for you up front, penalize you on the next time. There's a good question here from Brett Shear. Yes, the blue whale, which I don't know if that's the name of it. Maybe Lucas can tell you what the name of it. But for all intents and purposes, the blue whale will be on site. It will be there sometime in the early afternoon or morning on Thursday through the weekend. So yeah, that's the parking situation. There is parking on both sides. There's parking on the side that doesn't have the powered pit spots, and there's parking on the side that does. There's no plugging in to anything if you're running an air conditioner or a heater, which I know you're not going to be running a heater, but no plugging into anything that is part of the building. You need to bring your own generator if you're running an air conditioner. If you're just running a charger or a six-way or something and just powering up some chargers or stuff that's not going to draw a lot of power, there are some power spots. First come, first serve. We'll do everything we can to facilitate everyone. If you can, even if you have a trailer spot, you cannot let anyone pull power from your spot. The issue with that is they charge me. So if there's an extension cord going from the powered pit spot that somebody has paid for to the pits, I'm going to get charged for that. So I will walk around and unplug it so that we're not getting charged for it, unless you want to pay. And at that point, you need to come see me anyways. But we'll do everything we can to facilitate power. Best thing you can do if you got a trailer, obviously, is have a generator. And if you're popping up a tent, we'll do everything we can to get you powered by house power. All right. Anybody have any questions about parking or camper spots before I move on? If you do, go ahead and post them in the chat, and I'll address them pretty close to the time you post it. Your wife's wrong, hobo. I hope I don't sound like that guy. That sucks if I do. Damn it. I'm going to have to try and consciously change my voice sound because of that. I don't want to sound like that tool. Okay. I'll wait for some of those questions to come through. I'll answer them as they come through. All right. I want to talk about schedule. All right. So it's very similar to last year. Thursday, it's going to be set up from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's set up tents, set up trailers. The gates will close at 10 p.m. They do leave the back gate open. However, no one's really going to be there to help you. So if you show up, you better be putting yourself in the spot you're supposed to be, because if you are not, we will ask you to move. And if you're already all set up on Thursday night when no one's there to make sure that you're good, Friday morning will suck. So make sure you're not blocking any fences, any gates to anything equestrian or equine for the Boys and Girls Club or Boys and Girls Home employees to get to where they're going. They have horses and stables and stuff they take care of every day. We need to respect all of the entrances and exits to the other arenas, the gates where all the stables are, stuff like that. There's no using of any of the stables. We do not have access to those at this time. We really don't need them. There's plenty of room around the arena. There are some lean-tos and overhangs, which you'll see when you get there. Some people are already going to be in them. And honestly, if you're probably not there Thursday or early Thursday, those probably won't be available. So Thursday, set up from 12 to 10, and we will be doing race registration from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. 2.5 hours of race registration on Thursday night. Try to knock out as much as we can. If you're there, we hope that you'll do that, because you cannot get on the driver's stand at 8 a.m. for practice without a wristband, and you can't get your wristband unless you're signed up. So try to get signed up as much as you can on Thursday to alleviate any kind of rush or anything on Friday morning. All right, so Billy Crow has a good question. If you're pitting at the VIP area, where should you park? Billy, you'll show up. You'll pull your stuff out, put it there, and we'll tell you where to park. There's a huge parking field up near the front entrance. It's a little bit of a walk. When I say a little bit of a walk, probably a couple hundred yards. But other than that, if there's space around the arena until people need it, you can park anywhere until someone needs it. We just don't need a bunch of vehicles taking up any pit spaces, any places where trailers or tents could go. But if you've got the VIP pitting, all you need to do is drop your stuff off, or you can pick it up at the end of the night and all that. Chase Marcourt, I'll be late registration, open Saturday for late comers. Yes. So I believe you've already paid, and I'll have to check the paying. But anyways, there is a practice that morning, and it is from 8 to 9:30. I'm going over the schedule. Let me just make sure. Practice on Saturday morning is from 7 to 8:30. So if you show up really early on Saturday, and that'll get you a little bit of practice, and you won't need a wristband for that. If you're already signed up and everything is good there, then you should be fine. Nothing to worry about. All right, so back to the schedule. All right, practice. All right, so practice on race registration Friday is going to be 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. In between there's going to be all the block practicing going on, everything else. So registration you'll have 3 hours in the morning, and then you'll have 4 hours in the afternoon. So that's why it's really advantageous to get your race registration in as soon as you can, both Friday morning and late Thursday afternoon. If you're not familiar with Elite RC's practice blocks that they've done, they started doing them with Dave's events. They do them at all the Florida RC championships. We did it last year, both the Fall Brawl and the RC Pro-Am. It works very well. If you're sportsman, you're going to have a different color wristband than pro and intermediate. Sportsmen have red wristbands. Pros will have white. Intermediate will have blue. You will go out during your time. If you're a 40-pluser and not running any other class, you will get put in with the class that Lance puts you in. It'll either be sportsman or intermediate, more than likely. But that's only if you're just running 40-plus classes. The format's going to go like this. From 8 a.m. to 9:30 on Friday morning, it's open practice. All wristbands will be allowed on the track, 5-minute blocks, 1 minute off. At 9:30, we will go hot with sportsmen. You get an hour and a half, 9:30 to 11. Run anything that you want. If you're running e-buggy, nitro buggy, e-truggy, or nitro truck, you can run any of them at any time during that time. There will be a timer going so that the line is short and just keeps on moving. It works very well. There'll be a half-hour water and track break unless it doesn't need it. At 11:30 to 1, there'll be the pro block. That's white wristbands. Pros will have an hour and a half from 11:30 to 1. From 1:30 to 3, intermediate blue wristband block. You'll have your hour and a half. We'll take a half-hour break, water, track maintenance, anything it needs. Pros will then get one more half-hour practice. And then after that, we're doing something new this year. From 4 to 5, sportsmen and intermediate draft nominees, anyone that's putting themselves into the draft, they will get a practice by alphabetical order by their name. So that way the pros can watch, the pros can be out there, pay attention, see what's going on, see who they're looking at. From 5 to 6, the sportsmen and intermediate guys will have their nitro buggies available for 1 hour name practice. So you'll go out there in alphabetical order for and the time hasn't been decided how many minutes it's going to be. Everyone will get the same amount of time. Once again, during these 2 hours, that's when the pros will have a really great opportunity to watch you guys practice, see your speed, see how you're handling the track, all that. After those are done, we will do a open practice afterwards for 5-minute long sessions until 8 o'clock. That'll be the last of practice on Friday. Once we're done with practice, between 15 and 20 minutes, we'll all congregate over at the snack shack or the place where Chef Koo makes all the food. That's when we will be conducting the draft. Bring some chairs. I know they've got some picnic tables, some chairs over there. We'll go over the draft here in just a minute. Going back to the schedule, Saturday morning, late arrival only. If you have a wristband or if you practiced on Friday, you will not be practicing on Saturday morning. From 7 to 8:30, it's for people that show up on Saturday morning. So from 7 to 8:30, late arrival practice only. Track maintenance, we'll be doing track maintenance during the driver's meeting. So from 8:30 to 9, driver's meeting will be at 8:45. Racing's going to start at 9 a.m. sharp. So everything will be posted at 8 o'clock on Friday night, all the heat sheets. If any late comers come on Saturday, they'll get added in and they'll be told what race that they'll be in. But for everyone that's there Friday, you'll know when you're racing on Saturday. And we're doing 3 5-minute qualifiers, resort after round 1, maybe some lower mains depending on entries on Saturday night. Track is closed after racing on Friday and Saturday night. No extra practice. So that's basically how the schedule goes. I haven't been looking at the questions. I see clowns have entered the chat, so I need to make sure. Chase, if you're there on Friday night, we'll get you signed up and taken care of. Alias registration. I'm not too sure what you mean by that. Don't sign up as an alias. Is drainage any better? Honestly, even though it went wild last year and it poured, drainage wasn't good while we were there, like while it was raining, but 20 minutes later, there was no water on the ground. Their drainage is actually really good. It just, last year, that amount of water that came down at the end of Pro-Am was insane. Mark, let's see, so everyone can see. When is it too late to sign up? Saturday morning would be the latest, but try to sign up by Friday night would be great. Chase, like I said, clowns are now in the chat. None. Don't bring any underwear. Is it a prep track for pro practice? Yes. I mean, we're going to be taking care of the track all weekend. We're going to be taking care of it like we did for Fall Brawl. It's going to get blown out, but it's, we want it to be raceable. Extra socks, good idea, or no socks. Mike, I wasn't looking at the questions when you asked this, so I assume you mean for the alphabetical name. I do not know how long those will be. It'll all depend on how many heats of people that we have based on the entries and everything. Lance will have all that figured out on Friday. Yes, they definitely are doing profile photos. Danny Paz and the elite team do a fantastic job of showcasing the drivers, all levels. And being that this event is about the sportsmen and intermediate guys as much as it is for the pros, it's a big deal. So there will be a point in time probably, I don't know if it's after alphabetical or when it'll be. It'll probably be during maybe the blocks, but they will grab you guys and tell you to come down for your pictures, I assume. I don't know. I didn't see that when I was talking, so I don't know what that's in reference to. Um, all right. All right. All the questions are caught up. What's next on my agenda here? All right, so we're going to talk about the draft. The draft is, in my opinion, almost what this event's all about. The vision of this draft is to be an event, an event within the event. It's to be fun. It's to be and have some anticipation built up. It's to, for people to get rewarded for going out there and working hard during practice, and it's for the Joes to be recognized by the pros. So the draft is going to, just like last year, I'm catering the draft. There's going to be food. There's going to be some soft drinks like lemonade, tea, or something like that. Chef Koo's working on that for me. He will give us a list of what we're going to have, plus the menu, which I'll get posted up as soon as he sends it over to me. So the way it's going to work is we will do a random draw of all the pros once we know how many we've got for each division, nitro buggy and electric buggy. And how it works for the Joes is you guys are going to be sitting there waiting for your name to be called. It could be called and it might not. There's going to be way more Joes than there are pros. That's one thing you have to understand. Not everybody gets picked for a team. It's some of it's politics, some of it's popularity, some of it's you going out there and kicking butt in practice and showing somebody that you're capable of being on that team. Logistically, they're going to want to pick who's best because your points as a sportsman or intermediate means much more than their points do as a pro at the end of the day on Sunday. They're going to be looking for guys they think, guys or girls, I should say, that they think are going to make it to the A main because that's where you get points. They're going to be looking for racers that are going to get a TQ because there's extra points for TQ, or overall TQ even has even more points. And we'll go over the points here in just a second. The fun part about this is somebody might pick a driver that somebody was already thinking they were going to pick, and now they have to pivot and find somebody else. It's just like the NFL draft, which is really what I want it to be like. I want it to be fun. I want it to be anticipated. So that's what it's going to be. So when the draft happens, we'll all, as somebody said, big word, I used the word congregate. We'll all congregate around the food building. And so bring fold out chairs, stuff like that, because there won't be enough for everybody, so you don't have to stand. And it's a whole deal. We sit and we're going to have a production. It's all going to be videotaped, live streamed. Man, I'm showing my age here. VHS. It'll all be on VHS. So it's going to be great. I don't even know what else to say about it. The one thing that people have either asked about or I saw some back and forth online while I was driving today was people that shouldn't be racing in a lower class for whatever reason, whether they're trophy hunting, whether they are trying to get on a team as someone's sportsman, or whatever. They don't want to run pro, so they're running intermediate. This is the Southeast. Myself and Lance and Lucas know the Southeast very well. We know what you guys run. We've watched almost all of you race multiple times, many years of racing. We know what you run. We also have a breakout rule. And if you go out there on a team and you're running a class that you shouldn't be running and you're selected on a team and you break out on Saturday, one of two things can happen. One, they may go and drop you off their team and find somebody else, which is what I would do. Or two, your points won't count. So Don't break out. Don't go out there and sandbag. Run the class that you're supposed to be in. You know exactly who your competition is. We talk about this all the time. If you got a tire sponsor or a chassis sponsor, you shouldn't be in Sportsman. You just shouldn't. I'm not going to call you out, but you shouldn't be in Sportsman. You should probably be running intermediate. Just going to say that. You don't have to, especially if your times are low. But if you're a sponsored driver, you should probably be an intermediate at the very least. Just saying. That being said, we will have a breakout rule. Lance will explain the breakout rule, but there is one in place. So, Chase Marquardt called it the sandbagger rule. Same thing. That's the draft in a nutshell. As far as points go, pretty simple. Sportsman weighted higher than intermediate. Intermediate weighted higher than pro. There's 2 points for individual round TQs, and there is 5 points for overall TQ of a class. We're only doing teams in nitro buggy and electric buggy. The trucks, they're not part of the pro-am as far as team stuff. However, we're doing trophies for top 5 in TQ in all classes. As far as trophies in the pro-am, same thing. Top three teams, we're doing medals for all the team members in all 3 teams in both nitro buggy and electric buggy. So conceivably, there could be 6 completely different teams that get medals. Let's see. This is funny because basically there'll be no one left in Sportsman. Period. So that's hilarious. Thanks, Drew. All right, let's see. I'm pretty much done with what I wanted to get out there. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to scroll up, make sure I didn't miss any questions that are important. Mark has some great advice for everybody. Oh, thank you, Will. Damn, about forgot this. The tire change thingy. I love it. This year we are implementing a new rule. This rule, Lance McDonald and I, in our Wheel and Trigger sit down podcast that we did, he was talking about like, why don't we have certain things in RC racing that are in other racing? And one of the things that got brought up was, why don't we change tires? Why aren't there pit stops that with tire changes? We all know that Nitro Buggy does pit stops and whatnot. However, we've decided that there's going to be 6 races where you have to do a 4-tire pit stop this year. Every buggy race, a main event, so e-buggy, Sportsman Intermediate Pro, Nitro Buggy, Sportsman Intermediate Pro, every single one of you will have to do a 4-tire change if you make the A main. Now, the way it's going to go is like this. There will be somebody, maybe multiple somebodies there watching. They will have to be done before a certain time, 15, 20 minutes, something along that in a 30-minute main event. You do not have to put 4 new tires on. You can take all 4 tires off and put them on the pit lane and put them back on. Or you can take all 4 tires off and put 4 brand new tires on. So there's a good question here, and I'll let this will be discussed at the draft. I will let everyone know for sure. That's a good question. It might be that way where we let you do two at a time. The big thing we were trying to figure out was if you're taking tires off and not replacing your tires. how do we know that all 4 tires came off? So there will be a 4 tire pit stop. We will let you know exactly how it's going to work. You're more than welcome to practice these pit stops during your practices. I think that would be a good idea, um, especially, you know, if you feel like you're going to get selected. But there is definitely going to be full 4 tire pit stops for all A main buggy races. Pros draft e-buggy and nitro buggy separately. Yes. So if let's just say someone's running both, Dakota Finn's running e-buggy and nitro buggy. He has 2 full teams. They could be the same people if he's lucky enough, or if he likes those guys and they're available, or he might have 4 completely different racers as his teammates. But yes, they draft separately. Every race or every driver, because there's guys that are running nitro buggy that aren't running e-buggy and vice versa. There's racers that are running both. So there are definitely um, 2 separate teams. Answered that. All right. Great question, Travis. There is not a designated spare set. The beauty of this 4 tire change is you can change tires mid run to whatever you want. You could do it on your first pit stop. There will be a time where it has to be done. We're not going to allow it to go to the end. We want everyone to already be done with it, probably by halfway. And that's what we'll give you the full rundown of the pit stops at the Pro-Am draft. But yeah, you can change the tires. But if you don't want to change the tires, all 4 tires have to come off. And that's what we're going to discuss, and I'll let everybody know that 100%. But you have the opportunity to actually change your race with a different set of tires, with a different compound, a different tread pattern of tires. So we think it's going to be really awesome. Should be fun, and it definitely could change the outcome of the race. Um, yeah, those were awesome. The quick release wheels, but they've never been made for 8 scale. Great question, Davey. Yes, there is a limit of pit crew all the time at the races. Only 2 people per driver in the pits at all times. That's a ROAR rule. That's a IFMAR rule. That's everything. So only 2 people per car. If we have other people, the only way it could be somebody else would be a neighbor or somebody else helping you. But really, there should only be 2 people working on the car at a time, ever. If you're doing a fuel stop, one can pick up, one can fuel, or you could just have somebody. If if you guys feel good about it, you can just have one person doing the pit stop. A lot of people prefer that. There will be a draw for the draft, but I doubt it'll be straws. Um, that will not be the case no matter what. It won't be one corner at a time. It'll be at least 2 at a time. 2 will have to be off before they go on. Um, but it'll be the same for everybody, and we will let you know that for sure. Uh, yes, you can definitely use electric tools. Um, there's no rule against what tools you can use. These are pit stops. I said A mains, not just for the pros. All buggy A mains. That means sportsman, intermediate, and pro buggy nitro, sportsman, intermediate, and pro e buggy. All 6 of those races will be doing tire stops. I say that, I could be wrong. I should have probably thought about the e-buggy one, but as of right now, you're doing pit stops, even if it's halfway through. Old guys do matter. 40 plus, we really don't have. Maybe in the future, but it's not this year, Tony. We're not geared up for it. Trophies, everything else. But possibly in the future, we'll throw a 40 plus teammate into the mix. Nope. If Adam was coming, he would definitely be somebody that would want you would want to help you with pit stops. Um, Yeah. So, like someone asked, can you use electric tools? Of course. But just like Chase says, you could damage the car. So, I mean, it really comes down to how prepared you are. Are you practicing? Are you guys going to be practicing in the pits with your team? Are you going to, like, what are we doing? I want to see guys practicing. I want to see guys who's going to be the best. That's the question. Who's going to be the best? And I feel like this event gives people a lot of opportunity to showcase a lot of different things. Um, yeah, but are you coming? Possibly, possibly. Absolutely. There's no rules against comms or headsets or anything like that. They've become pretty regular in all racing. I think in like IFMAR, I think they don't, maybe even Roar, they don't want the driver to have two on. They only want them to have one, but I could be completely wrong. But at our races, there's no rules against having comms. Two people, Stacy. Two people max. Um, it could be the other two teammates, part of your team. It could be your dedicated pit people. Um, However you want to do it, but only two people are allowed in the pits to be a pit crew per driver. All right. Any other actual questions? Feel like we've answered most of it. I need to answer couple questions for myself that kind of came up during this, and I will definitely relay to everyone at the draft, or it will also be added to Lance's drivers meeting. Um, but yes, we're definitely going to. Um, I'll definitely need to clarify a couple things. The only open practice from 8 to 9. No, it's 8 to 9:30 and 6 to 8. Um, Eric, from six to what was it? Yeah, so open practice from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. after all the block practice, or first thing Friday morning, 8 to 9:30. And if you don't make practice on Friday, there's a late arrival practice on Saturday morning from 7 to 8:30 a.m. So you can show up on Friday, but if you don't hit the track, you can practice for an hour and a half with only people that haven't practiced um, on Saturday morning. Hope that makes sense. You'll just have to plan to be there for the next one there, Kevin. All right, guys. I hope all this helps clarify anything. Like I said, Friday night, it's for everybody. You don't have to be in the draft to partake in the appetizers. They're going to be finger foods. Last year we did like a lemonade and a sweet tea. I want to say some wings and some different things. Chef Gu really did it up right. I have all confidence he's going to kick ass and give us something good for this weekend. Also, his menu is really, really good for the weekend food. I think Kyle Neary's also going to be doing some food. I'm not too sure exactly what it's going to be. Um, there, I'll post the menu for the Snack Shack as soon as they send it over to me. But yeah, it's not just for the people that are in the draft for the draft. All the festivities are for everybody. Everyone come over. Like I said, bring a chair, bring a little cooler, hang out, drink a couple beers. Let's have some fun. Um, You know, let's cheer on these draftees, these sportsman guys. You know, I remember last year there was a couple that were really, really new, and I think it's just a really cool event. I'm proud of this, and I'm stoked. I'm stoked where it's at, and I really feel like it's gonna be a great time. So, looking forward to seeing everybody. I'm gonna get out of here so that my family gets to see me because we won't see each other for a while after tomorrow. So, you guys have a great night. Appreciate everyone. I'm looking forward to having all of you. Draft, 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 Brett, draft it up. A little bit of drafty draft. Y'all have a good night.